Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital, or welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome to this new video right here, this new Altseason update. Now, before we'll start with that, a couple of disclaimers. Obviously, right now we are not in an Altseason. I would say the market looks the worst it has been for altcoins since June. We have seen some recovery over the course of this morning, but that's mostly driven by Bitcoin and Ethereum, and altcoins right now are still down bad. But Altseason update, it's another word for altcoins update. Right, and what's going on right now with altcoins and what you can expect. Now, having said that we are not in an alt season, which I think most of you already do know, there is some positive news, and there are some positive developments that I wanted to talk about, which is ultimately also the key reason why I wanted to make a video on altcoins today. We will take a look at others, which is this chart right here. So that's the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 cryptos. And we will take a look at the total 3, although I must say, which is what I based the thumbnail on, as you can see, although I must say that they both look quite similar. The total 3 looks a little bit better than others. So I would say, if you want to focus on altcoin trading, if you want to long some altcoins, that's up to you. But I would potentially focus on some of those higher market cap ones. Those look a bit stronger in terms of structure. Now, first of all, when we talk about the fundamentals around the markets, which obviously influence altcoins as well, I'm not too convinced. And that's also why I want to say that, my general thoughts on altcoins right now are slightly more, I have a slight neutral to slightly bullish bias on altcoins, all right? But definitely, first of all, not on all altcoins. And I'm still very cautious. I'm not risking a lot in altcoin trades. I barely have any spot positions open. All right, so just so you know that when we get into this, the volatility index right here, basically unrest and gold as well, are still quite bullish, are still quite strong. So that means that there's still quite a lot of unrest and volatility, or unrest and uncertainty, I should say, in the financial markets, which is generally bad for altcoins. And then if you take a look at the open for the S&P 500 right here, so this is pre-market, yes, we're trading higher than where we ended on Friday, but by a very minimal margin. And because of the uncertainty in the markets, this can still drop down. So I would be very cautious with altcoins, but the key reason why I'm neutral to slightly bullish is the technicals. If you take a look at the total 3, and you take a look at the price action we have here on the daily time frame, we have actually been able to get some sort of a bullish divergence here. If you compare these lows right here, Saturday the 11th of October to Friday the 17th of October, you can see we got a bullish divergence with the RSI. We got a bullish divergence with the volume as well, for a lot of altcoins at least. That second move was with lower volume, lower conviction. So a double bullish divergence. Outside of that, the total 3, and that's why I'm telling you the total 3 looks a little bit better than others, although others also found support at a relatively strong support level. We found support at a strong support level, the yearly rolling VWAP, and now on the higher time frames, we actually have been able to hold this strong support level between $980 billion and $1 trillion, which was the key level we really needed to hold. What you can see right now is that, okay, we're definitely not as bullish as we were in September and October. We lost a critical support level right here, but at least we're getting some, with those bullish divergences, and with the fact that we're holding that, we're getting some sort of an indication that we can at least hold this as support. And if we hold this as support, and this is the main resistance, which it is, then you could argue that we are getting into some sort of a consolidation like this. And getting into some sort of a consolidation like this, I have to be slightly bullish on altcoins, since the fundamentals, although they're not amazing, they are recovering slightly. And we have more upside potential than downside potential. And there are also some altcoins. If I take a look at the markets this morning, like auction is incredibly manipulated, just so you know, but okay. Chainlink also showing some momentum based on news. Morpho quite strong. BitTensor has been incredibly strong. There are also some instances of altcoins actually showing momentum, which was much less the case last week. So this is why I'm neutral, because we are basically technically in a range right now. All right. And then I'm slightly bullish because we have been able to get we have been able to get confirmations that we will hold the range for now, subject to fundamentals, that we will be able to hold the range, and holding the range would mean getting a move to the upside into further imbalances we left last week. So those are my thoughts on altcoins right now. Like I said, I am neutral to slightly bullish, but I would still very much focus on, shorter to medium term trades. Spot, I would definitely, with these fundamentals, I would recommend spot. And then outside of that, I would be very selective in what you're trading. Pick what has momentum. Pick what is strong. All right. And then I think you can actually do some trading. But those are my thoughts for now. That's what I think you need to know. So hopefully it helps. But for now, have a great week. Take care and bye.